Hi guys, it's reaction time. We've got Helloween and this is Tokyo. So before I start, I want to say that I really love some of Helloween's music and some not so much. I was a big fan of way back when especially the Keeper albums. Keeper 7 Keys Part 1 and 2 were a massive part of the late 80s for me. A massive part. But when it comes to power metal, you know, and I know people would argue that Helloween maybe invented power metal. Perhaps they did. I always like the darker side of power metal, you know. But power metal is so broad now, isn't it? It's used in metal bands that I don't even believe are power metal. People call it power metal, but, you know, whatever. But when it comes to Helloween, the happier side of their music, I don't get along with. So I'm going to say that from the outset, but I've got to be here doing this reaction because it's Helloween. It's a massive deal. It's a massive deal. So that's just setting the first thing straight. This song, This Is Tokyo, apparently is like a tribute, if you like, to the fans of Japan. And that's cool. If it wasn't for that country, a lot of the music that we love probably wouldn't have kept going. I think they kept the music going when most countries forgot about rock and metal. You know, Japan never has. So it's very cool that they've done a song about that. So Helloween, This Is Tokyo. This is a risk for me. I might not actually like it. I might love it because I'm very hit and miss with Helloween altogether. But This Is Tokyo. Here we go.
Flying 10,000 miles, leave half the world behind, into an epic realm where futures will align. You're one in a million to me. You're one in a million. This is Tokyo. This is Tokyo. Flow with the masses in Shibuya till the show. Digging through endless stores above and down below. You're one in a million to me. You're one in a million. This is Tokyo.
Well, I've got to say it's different. It's very different. I've been reading some comments as well while the video's been playing. Probably not, you know, I shouldn't really be doing that, but I just couldn't help it. There's a lot of comments under the videos and a lot of people ain't happy about this song. One thing I would say is it sounds, I wasn't expecting this sort of song. I mean, I remember the song off the last album, but they brought the proper extended version. It was about 12 minutes long, and it was just, real Helloween. It was typical Helloween. This is so different for me. I think they've done some songs like similar to this before. And you've got to remember with Helloween, they don't stand still. They don't just write. There's one thing you can say about them, that they could have carried on, way back when with the Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 and 2, and they could have carried on doing that sort of music. They didn't. They went in a completely different direction. It might not have been everyone's, taste, but they did it. They do what they like. But I think as a song, I really like this. It's not got that happy power metal thing for me. So I'm happy about that. I'm not sure as a Helloween song, it's, like I said, it's not going to be everyone's favourite song. It's catchy as hell though, isn't it? I mean, it really is catchy. But it doesn't really sound like them. It could be another band, I think. But the song in general, I quite like. Maybe very poppy, not as heavy. Probably that's probably what's disappointed some of the fans, that it's not got real heaviness in it. But I think this is just Helloween doing what Helloween do. They release something like this. I don't think the album's going to be anything like this. This will probably be, stuck somewhere on the album, and the music surrounding it will be typical Helloween. What I have got to say though is that I think at first I thought, sometimes your view changes of music in general. You can listen to a song first time or an album the first time and think, what I thought about the last album was that I thought it sounded good production wise. In the end, I was like, man, it was one of the worst, in my opinion, productions, one of the worst produced albums. It sounded bad to me, the last album. And at first I thought it sounded good. Then you start to realise, the guitars weren't cutting through nicely in the mix. The drums were buried. It really wasn't great whatsoever. I think this sounds a lot better to me. The balance of the instruments. I think, if they can create the album making it sound like this, but with heaviness and some heavy songs as well, I think they're off to a winner with production-wise. So, a bit of a mixed bag for me. I actually quite like it, but I think it shocks me a bit because it shouldn't shock me, like I said, because they do take these twists and turns, but it ain't what I'm expecting from a first single, and obviously it's disappointed a lot of Helloween fans. That's fine. But for me, I suppose, who's not the biggest Helloween fan, I quite like it. It's not the best song I've ever heard from Helloween, but it's pretty good as well. I quite like it. But I think it's a bit harder, when there's expectations, isn't there, from bands that are big. I mean, look, some of the bands I react to have got a couple of hundred views, because I try to promote smaller bands mainly. I mean, this is sitting at 88,500 views. Ain't even been out a day yet. So one of the bigger bands, which brings more expectations. It brings fans that are going to be a lot more critical of everything they do. So there's a lot of people not happy with this song. Me, I'm okay with it. I think it sounds good. Production-wise, it's really catchy. It might not be typical Helloween, but I quite like it. Here we go for the rest.
This is Tokyo. Tokyo.
I think I really like it. It's really catchy, man. And when you look for catchiness, they've always been catchy. Helloween, no matter if they play the heavier stuff, they're very catchy band. That's what they do. They hook. They got hooks. Very different sort of hooks in that one, but I really liked it. I really did. Obviously, there's a Deris written song and vocally sang. Of course, I think Keith was doing some very restrained backing vocals in some of the verses and stuff by the looks of it. But I liked it. I thought it was all right. So, Helloween fans, what do you think? Are you disappointed because it's not typical Helloween? Do you like it as a song, though? You know, maybe put aside the expectations of Helloween and what you want from them as a song. Do you like it? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you soon.